Kiyo, a plain-looking boy living in Okinawa, meets a cat girl named Eris during the death anniversary of one of his relatives. After he takes a sip of alcohol, he blacks out. He awakens the next morning and finds Eris half naked in his bed, causing him to jump out. She heals his headache using a strange device, and he tells her to get dressed. His friend Manami arrives, having heard that he brought a girl home. When she sees Manami, she's shocked by her foreign goods. His teacher and video club moderator, Itokazu, also wants to know what is going on, and is equally shocked by Eris's voluptuous appearance. Eris explains that she's an alien sent to research Earth. They demand proof that Eris is truly an alien, and her ship's navigation robot, Luros, informs her that her ship is being taken. It is broadcast on TV, and Eris instructs the ship to be quickly moved away. Manami and Itokazu excuse themselves in disbelief. Eris also hails from a place called Earth, so they have decided to be known as Katians. Eris explains to Kiyo that the Katia race has stagnated, and in pursuit of new experiences, they set off into space to exchange cultures with other species. However, Eris becomes the target of 3 separate organizations, all of whom mean to either kill or capture her. Manami, Itokazu, and one of Kiyo's friends, Futaba, are all out to get her. The next day, Eris plants capsules into the ground that produce assistant androids, or assistroids. After visiting the local library with Kiyo and her minions, several members of the group Beautiful Contact converge on her location and demands she leave the planet at once. When they threaten Kiyo with gunfire, Futaba, equipped in her battlesuit, comes to his rescue. Unable to lay a hand on Eris due to Kiyo, Futaba turns to leave. Suddenly, a second group shoot tranquilizer darts at both Kiyo and Eris. Kiyo is rescued by his uncle, Yuichi, while Eris is abducted. Kiyo calls Manami, recognizing the watch as hers. She apologizes but divulges Eris's location. Yuichi and Kiyo raid the Beautiful Contact base, where Kiyo sees Itokazu. The minions take photos and Yuichi blackmails them into infiltrating the military base. Yuichi causes several explosions across the base, sending the soldiers into full alert. Kiyo makes his way to rescue Eris, but she has already disposed of her captors. They return to the surface, where they are to be picked up by their escape helicopter, but it's destroyed by anti-aircraft missiles, leaving them surrounded. Eris and her minions equip special hammers that dematerialize the tanks, allowing them to escape. Weeks pass, and Eris is soon due to leave. She remarks she will soon have her mating season and asks Kiyo if he would like to be her partner. Before he can reply, Manami and Futaba tell him to check the news. Eris's huge mothership has arrived, and they are visited by 2 of her comrades, who tell her they have established formal relations due to their newfound love for yakiniku. Kun, the captain of the Katia starship, has established official ties with the Japanese government. They are wearing school swimsuits because Eris told them to, although none of them seem to dislike it. They return to Kiyo's house, where he is embarrassed to learn that Eris got the idea from one of his magazines. Manami and Futaba then appear and explain that they must say goodbye. Janes, the commander in charge of an alien race called the Dogisia, demands the capture of all the girls involved in the incident. Manami, a CIA partner in training, Futaba, a special interrogator for the Japanese Immigration Bureau, and Itokazu, a member of Beautiful Contact, and threaten to withdraw all support they have otherwise. Eris suggests that Manami and Futaba stay at Kiyo's house, as it's now considered an embassy, subject to special protection. While they make themselves at home, they decide to assign the cat minions numbers to avoid confusion. After another misunderstanding in the bathroom, Manami and Futaba discuss how they feel about Kiyo. Manami says Kiyo treats her like one of the guys, but remarks that Futaba might have a chance. Futaba demonstrates her power, Apport, which allows her to teleport items within a 50-meter radius. As such, she was abandoned by her parents and raised in the underworld, performing many illegal activities. They are alerted that number 17 has been kidnapped, causing Manami and Futaba to jump into action. They manage to stop the assailant, but she drops a flashbang and disappears. A concerned Kiyo arrives, but because the 2 girls are still naked, Manami starts shooting at him. The next day, Manami receives a call from Jack, informing them that a certain organization is after them. A group known as the Underside of the Kitten's Paw, a fanatical group made up of catgirl lovers, plot to kidnap Eris. Meanwhile, Eris begins going wild from catnip, but Dr. Durrell manages to sedate her with a taser. Durrell explains that mating season is right around the corner and has come to understand Kiyo will be her partner, but Manami opposes the idea. Eris is then ordered to go to Tokyo. As Kiyo and the others arrive at Tokyo, Eris directs them to Nakano Broadway, a popular shopping mall. Here, she plans to purchase certain otaku products for research purposes, but Kiyo, Manami, and Futaba cannot resist buying stuff for themselves. They end up spending way too much money, and while waiting at a train station, Futaba notices they are being followed. Despite their precautions, they're attacked by several maids. Their attack is methodical and well-planned, and Kyo and Eris are abducted. Minami receives a call from Jack informing her of the Kitten's Paw, led by the daughter of the multimillionaire Antonia. She also divulges the location of their base, the massive cruiser ship Andrewala. Eris and Kyo awaken on the Andrewala and contemplate escape, but they decide to stay when one of the maids brings them a lavish feast. Minami and Futaba try to find a way to quickly reach the Andrewala, but a powerboat they want is already being rented out. They luckily run into Yuichi, who explains he rented it for a movie shooting. Learning of Kyo's plight, he agrees to bring it to them at Ogasawara. Eris and Kyo attempt to escape again, but due to Eris's mating season protocols, her power suit is disabled, including calling for her assist droids. A maid enters and provides them with a massive assist droid, causing Kyo to suspect someone is inside it. They are brought to an entertainment room where Kyo notices that all the game machines are only built for one player. The maid replies that it's specifically designed with their master in mind. It's revealed that Antonia, the cult's leader, was inside the giant assist droid the entire time. Eris and Kyo are forced to dress up in skimpy bikinis by the movie director Kawasaki, but they make a break for it on the powerboat and speed into the ocean. Eris and Minami infiltrate the ship while Kyo, using Eris's battlesuit, blasts a hole through their room, and they manage to regroup. They are stopped by Maya, one of Antonia's maids, but the latter admits her wrongdoing and offers them a ride out on a lifeboat. Kyo prepares to leave for film club, with help from his assist droid, Sada. Eris suddenly goes into heat, but they are distracted by the gunfire in the yard, where Minami and Futaba are training. Kyo scolds them, and Eris remarks they might need a special place to train. In exchange for teaching her how to use a gun, Minami coaches Futaba on how to win Kyo's heart and suggests that she learn how to make home-cooked meals, but her cooking skills are lacking. Chaika brings Minami and Futaba to a simulation room, allowing them free rein to practice. She explains that Katians without partners during mating season use this room to satisfy their needs, and teases they can try out a simulated Kyo, but they bashfully decline. Futaba simulates a kitchen, complete with Kyo as a taste tester. Minami simulates a shooting range, but when she's unable to pick up a machine gun, she asks for a simulated Kyo to help her. She forces him to answer truthfully. She asks how he feels about her. Kyo replies that he has always aspired to be as straightforward and confident as her. But after she started talking to Jack, whom he assumed was a man, he ended up abandoning his feelings. Minami, realizing the misunderstanding possibly cost her a relationship with him, slumps to her knees. However, when Kyo ends up not liking Futaba's home-cooked meal, Chaika explains that the Kyo they simulated was merely an idealized version in their minds, giving Minami some hope. Meanwhile, due to the trouble her mating season has caused, Eris is forced to take a pill to end it prematurely, much to her disappointment. To everyone's surprise, Eris suddenly transforms into Kyo's class, alongside Antonia and her bodyguards Maya and Sarah. When Kyo is invited to camp by his film club, Eris is invited too, prompting Antonia, Minami, and Futaba to join as well. They are assigned to separate limousines, where two girls from the film club tease Minami and Futaba about Kyo and inform them that he is actually quite popular with the girls. To Minami and Futaba's surprise, they're told to change into swimsuits as per their club activities. As Eris and the other girls exit the changing room, the guys are mesmerized by their figures, but the girls realize that there are tail holes in their swimsuits due to them being designed with Eris in mind. Futaba and Kyo get along admirably during the day, somewhat troubling Minami. The pair go out for a walk along the beach, where Futaba assumes she will be confessed to, but Kyo instead asks for combat training. This leaves her frustrated, as she does not want to be seen as merely a human weapon. She takes her frustrations out on Eris, saying that she hates her, but Eris embraces her, understanding how much she loves Kyo. Futaba begins training Kyo. Not wanting to get in their way, Minami leaves them alone. After marksmanship and combat training, the pair decide to take a break. Kyo confides that he wishes he also had something to specialize in, just like everyone else, but Futaba reassures him that he doesn't need to force the issue. Later, Futaba confronts Minami as to why she refuses to be around them. After a brief exchange of gunfire, the pair agree to a duel in the mountains, using quasi-round ammunition. The exercise is a test of tactics and strategy, and the two manage to avoid coming into firing range of one another. It begins to rain, making the conditions even tougher. The duel holds a deeper meaning. Minami wants Futaba to get with Kyo, as she feels that her chance to be with him has already passed. Futaba feels that she has no right to be with Kyo due to her dark and troubled past. When the light shower lets up, Futaba and Kyo begin firing at one another, but Futaba bodges her reload time, making Minami the victor. As agreed, she challenges Futaba to start calling Kyo by his first name. Futaba notices a sniper and tackles Minami to safety. The two come up with a plan to take them down, using their quasi-bullets to repel the enemy, performing a pincher attack from two fronts. They return to Kyo's house with a meal prepared for Kyo waiting for them. Even though Futaba starts calling Kyo by his first name, Minami is annoyed that he doesn't notice Futaba's effort. Meanwhile, Janes receives the assassins she sent in a crate, stripped naked. Eris informs Kyo and the others that the very first Assistoid, considered to be the modern Assistoid's grandmother, is due to visit Earth, and they are expected to play host to it. The first Assistoid, Lauri, appears inside Kyo's home. Kyo receives Lauri and asks why she takes on a human form. She explains that Assistoids were first conceived to be the same as Cations, but advances in technology soon allowed for more compact designs. The primary reason remains to be that an Assistoid that looks like a Cation is unnerving and may lead to primal senses of distrust and fear. They visit a local park alongside Eris, who confides with Kyo that several hundred years ago, before the modern series of Assistoids, a series of atrocities committed against them almost led to an all-out war, and it was only recently that the two sides have reconciled. Because of this, Eris feels partly responsible for her ancestors, and she is unsure of how to act around Lauri. Itakazu drives him and Lauri to a nearby beach, and Itakazu is finally satisfied at seeing a proper alien robot. Once there, Lauri explains that she once had a master that always intended to visit Earth and hoped to sing one of their songs under a night sky. However, an interdimensional mishap prevented him from realizing this dream, and so she traveled all the way here to fulfill it for him. After Lauri sings her song, The Lonely Spaceman, she departs. The next day, Kyo learns from Chaika that Lauri is not expected to live much longer, as she has refused the maintenance or a master to continue operating. Although Eris has mixed feelings, she stares up at the sky to say farewell. As Lauri departs aboard a Cation ship, the captain plays the Lonely Spaceman. In an epilogue, Lauri submerges into an ocean, ceasing operations completely. As Christmas approaches, Minami encourages Futaba to come up with a present to win Kyo over. Meanwhile, the Cations on the mothership also consider coming up with a similar Christmas tradition. They detect space debris, which Kun promptly orders to be fired upon. Kun leaves Melwyn in charge of the ship while she visits Kyo, bringing with her a gift. Later, Minami scolds Futaba for her poor choice of a gift and tells her she should be more aggressive if she truly loves Kyo, before it's too late. Suddenly, a truck nearly runs them over, crashing into Kyo's house, and Dogisian Assistoids pour in. A special gas prevents most of the Cation Assistoids from operating, forcing Kyo, Eris, and Kun to retreat to the room above. Meanwhile, the Cation mothership is also under attack by Dogisians, who were hidden in the debris they shot earlier. They breach the ship and overwhelm its defenses. Kun is incapacitated by a Dogisian Assistoid, and before she loses consciousness, she yields her bell to him. To Eris's horror, Kun was injected with lethal nanomachines, preventing her from operating. Melwyn contacts Eris and informs them that they have lost control of the ship, and in 2 weeks' time, it will crash into Earth. The Cations assess the situation. The mothership is designed to self-destruct to prevent a catastrophic event, but its crew is still trapped inside. Without Kun, they lack the necessary clearance to regain control of the ship. However, they realize that Kyo was entrusted with Kun's bell, and they address him as their new captain.